Hey RadioCheckk team, this will be my introduction to my YouTube page. I actually made a intro video some time ago, but I decided to redo it. Had to pick up a microphone. Obviously these phone microphones or camera microphones don't do very well, so decided to pick one up and then redo the video. That way I can thoroughly explain the purpose and the goal of my YouTube channel. My background is I've been around radios for a very long time. I took an interest in radios since I was a kid. I used to play with the KB Toy radios that had one channel and it was nothing but squelch, and you had the code on it, what do you guys call it, the Morse code. And since then I've taken an interest on radios as I got older. I worked with radios in the professional industry. I've used them in a personal setting, professional setting, security, law enforcement, business reasons. I've been around radios for a very long time, to the point where I've had interest, and I dug deeper into the knowledge and operation of the radios. And one of the inspirations to make the YouTube video or YouTube channel is because I ran into a lot of issues where I needed help on specific radios, or programming, installation, hacks and tips and tricks, and there wasn't really much out there for me to use. So hopefully my YouTube channel will be your one-stop shop, and I can introduce several ideas or be the support and help for your path and your adventures with the radios. So from time to time I will buy a radio and post a review. We will go live testing in the field. As you can see here, I've acquired quite a few radios over time. Actually, more recently, I've been buying these radios again since I bought XTS 3000. So long story short, I used to work for a police department when we had the XTS 3000s, and so this video here, or I'm sorry, this radio, I know this radio very well. In fact, I use these at the police department for several reasons: events, patrol, and I mean, these are great. These are great radios. And when I saw one that I came across on eBay, I thought this is my calling. I used the radio before. I did a report on them before. These were about $3,000 or so when they first came out, and so I saw it on eBay. I bought one of these. Actually, I think I bought four because they were, I can't remember the price, but it was a pretty good deal, and I thought might as well. And so when I bought this, of course, you're going to learn that not every radio can be programmed in any way. You need special software, special cables, cords, operating systems. So again, this radio here, I won't go too much into the details, but this radio can only be programmed with a specific software, a specific programming cable, and a specific computer. And luckily I had a Windows XP computer, compact, that my mom had, and after she passed away, my stepdad, he gave me the computer. And again, I really had no idea what it was until I opened the box and I said, this is perfect. Windows XP, I need it for XTS 3000, and that's when the journey began with this radio. So I was able to get everything I need, program them to what I need, and these have been our go-to radios since then. So after I got these, I mean, I just started picking up little radios here and there. I mean, my first radio actually was a Baofeng since moving here, and I bought these several years ago before they locked these down and made them FCC compliant, which is fine. But the few that I have, they're unlocked and had a little bit more opportunity to listen on other frequencies. So but this was it that I had before, and I thought, what else is there out there that I can I can use, I can test for emergencies, for trips, for road trips, for hiking, camping. Generally, every radio that I have because of an idea of I'm going to use this radio for this event or this detail, and I have this radio for this purpose or reason. I mean, every radio here that I have, well, to be honest, I bought it because it's available, number one. And number two, I just want to see the difference on the operations of these radios. So a little bit about the again, my history. As I said before, I've used radios. I come from a very long, tenured security law enforcement background. Again, I've been in the security industry for a very long time, where I was a security guard, a shift supervisor, I was a lieutenant, a sergeant, a captain, however you want to name it. I spent about 15 years, give or take, in the security industry. And all of those years, it's required to use radios. Radios are probably the most important tool as a security guard. And so I continued my journey with security and radios, and the knowledge of course, self-defense and de-escalation techniques and handcuffing and so forth. I've trained at the FLETC, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, and in South Carolina. So I have pretty good extensive training on the security industry, law enforcement industry, but that I take that knowledge and I apply the use that I've used radios to these radios. So, for example, I'm not so much into ham radios. I mean, I operate ham radio, GMRS, but I am more interested in the professional, organized communication with radios. So again, that's why the XTS 3000 or the 5000, the 1500, 2500, those are all used in police settings, security settings, even the Sabres. So this one I bought not too long ago, where it was a really good deal. For one of them was, I think, 130 or 120, and that's a steal for this type of radio. And the condition it was, I bought two. So as you get to know me, you'll see that I have a obsession of buying two radios at a time. And my idea behind that is only because if you buy one radio, how do you test this radio with another radio? Right? It doesn't make sense if you buy only one radio and you say, well, here's a review, here's how it works, here's how it sounds or operates. I don't want to take this radio and say, all right, I'm going to key this radio up and talk to you on the battlefield. No, they're specifically designed to communicate amongst each other. So I would always pick up two if I can, or I'll pick up one until I find the other one. But I generally like to have two radios. I can test them. I can give one to someone else, and we can use the same radio and see how they work, how they operate, how far they can work. I actually just did a test on a few Walmart FRS radios, and they didn't do very well. So the idea was to have FRS radios to compare those to all these other radios I have, and that radio failed, as in didn't work what you would have expected it to work with. So that's okay. That was a reason. And again, the purpose of this channel is for me to help you pick and choose what radio you should get or shouldn't get, or if you do want to get a radio, which one is best for the environment you're going to use, the distance you need to use it. Is it for family? Is it for friends? Is it for emergencies? Is it for your neighborhood? Is it for security operations or business operations? These all have a different use for them. UHF, VHF, you have your CB radio, you have DMR radio. This is a DMR radio, and this is also a DMR radio. This is kind of a older Motorola. I think they call these the turbo radios. These are probably 3 generations back now. I think they're on to Motorola R7. But nonetheless, it still works great. I've used these before in a security job, and they did very well. They have a lot of good features, and they never failed. So these are great. Again, Motorola Sabres, you'll see these used back in the days before these radios. These were designed for military back then, and they evolved. They went from analog to digital radios, and so these are all radios that have been used in the past, again, for public safety or public works. And if you get your hands on one of them, I want to be that source where you can come and get information. So again, the purpose, again, I probably repeated myself a few times, but I just want to get a good introduction that I'm not I don't want to say I'm not a professional, but I'm a professional where I understand radios. I understand them to where I can give you a good idea of what's going to work best and what's not going to work best. Which ones, if you want to, you know what, I don't want to go around in circles, but if you just want to learn radios, how to generally use them, how to talk on them, the do's and don'ts, understand, the purpose of some of these, and, again, this one, these are tiny little, I think they're Baofeng wannabe radios. I think I've seen the same design with several different brands on them. So I think someone is going around making these and letting you put your own little logo on here, and you can sell these for $10-$20 each, and they're fine. I mean, these, I did a little check on, or a field test on these. Not very great. I don't know the wattage. I don't know. It didn't come with a booklet. I haven't hooked it up to a CPS or a programming software yet, so I really don't know exactly what they're offering here in these radios, but around the house, around the store, they're great. These were designed a little bit more for, again, public service. I've seen these used in the military. These do come with front panel programming. Check 1 2. Yeah, they're fine. They're great radios. Not that you would use them for everything they are able to be used for. I think that's why sometimes I say, if you're going to use a radio for family or for adventures, hiking, and keep in touch, you don't have to go to the extreme XTS series or APX series or Sabre series. HT series is what they call those. I mean, you can stick to Baofengs. That's perfectly fine. You can go to Baofengs. This is a B-Tech. Check 1 2, and go from there. So again, I appreciate you tuning in and watching, and hopefully this YouTube channel grows. Feel free to educate me, and I'll educate you with what I know. I definitely want to be a very open source book where I invite some to provide me their information, and I can grow from there, and together we can have a one-stop shop, and we can be successful in our radio communication. We can be successful in how to use these radios and have fun with them. It's a hobby. It's an interest. I mean, it's great technology. I really think it's a really cool way to get your friends involved and your family involved if they care for it. I know the missus over here, she loves using the radios as much as I do. In fact, she's always walking out the door grabbing hers. And here I color-coded hers with pink, and mine is blue. I don't know if you can see that in here. So, and of course we can page each other here somehow. Page. Yeah. So if we want to be annoying to each other, we can definitely do that. In fact, she's always grabbing one radio and going to the kitchen, or she's going to the bedroom and giving me a different radio. We'll ask, hey, what radio do you want to use? We'll use the DMR sometimes, or the Baofeng, or the 3000. So, but again, feel free to ask me any questions. Feel free to ask me what radios to test. Feel free to just engage, get me involved. I really want to be successful in helping out and educating. I want to be entertaining. I am a adventure junkie, not a adrenaline junkie. I don't like skydiving. I don't like rock climbing. I'd rather keep my 2 feet on the floor. But I do love going hiking. I do love going off-roading. As you can see in some of my photos, I have a Jeep, and I love getting out there and getting lost and getting found and communicating and going to the top of a mountain and seeing who I can get a hold of. So yeah, so again, feel free to let me know if you ever want to collaborate, if you have ideas. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Yeah, feel free to hit me up, and we'll see where this channel goes. I hope, again, I am your guru for radios. I will help you install. I will help you program. I will help you understand. Other than that, I need a team. So let me know if you want to be part of the RadioCheckk team. If you want to help me test the radios. If you have radios you want to test, I am in the Phoenix area. So if you're in the Phoenix area anywhere, let me know when you want to meet up, and then we can start programming. We can start testing, and we can start exploring. All right, I appreciate your time. This is RadioCheckk, over and out.